Hello, everyone. It's Mark Laura here from the Fascinating Women podcast. Usually, I am behind a camera photographing incredible women for Inner Spirit Photography, but I get such amazing people that come through my door, and I think I should share these amazing people with the world. And so that's what we're doing today. And today, I have got Callie Jensen. Now, she's young and tender in her years. Little gray kind of shows up here, but she has accomplished so much. She is a fierce businesswoman. Her current program that she's developing, which has got a bigger investment role than I realized, I think, that she does. She explained it to me, is our beauty squad. I got that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And how it came about and the different reasons for coming there and her background is just truly fascinating. And so welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm really looking forward to having this conversation with you today.
It's going to be fun. We've known each other for several years now. And every time I bump into you, it's kind of like a catch up, like, well, aren't you doing this last thing? And you go, oh God, that's like so last year. And other kind of stuff. So tell us a little bit about your latest venture, your beauty squad.
Well, I guess I should start back at the beginning a little bit about myself. I come from a traditional business. I used to be a receptionist, actually, to be honest. Go figure. I've done so many things since then, but I had a couple majorly defining moments in my career where, it made me not ever want to work for somebody else again. And, one of the biggest things was I was working for a job where I got really, really sick, and it was a very, very toxic environment. And I ended up with cancer.
Oh, okay.
I had breast cancer and cervical cancer in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through quite a few different treatments and therapies back and forth. And, that moment actually, when I walked back into work and my employer threatened to fire me if I didn't show up to work after having my cancer treatment, pretty much defined my moment, and I never worked for anybody else again. So, did
you have any that's like a steel backbone moment where you sit back and say, okay, well, this I don't need. But was there stages that kind of prepared you to take that step? Because a lot of people get that same thing, but they don't make the leap to private enterprise.
Yeah, well, I opened up my first company when I was 16 years old. I incorporated my first company, and I was cleaning fish tanks and breeding reptiles, believe it or not. So I looked into how to open up my first company. I incorporated it at 16 years old, and I used to go around and clean fish tanks. So I kind of was already an entrepreneur. My mom was always an entrepreneur, working like 3 to 5 jobs just to make sure we always had a roof over our head. So, I always had the entrepreneur blood in my veins. And, that's the one thing, like the major values that I got from my mom. And I'm so grateful for her today. She's still a hustler. She's still doing multiple things. We work together side by side, and, it's been really great to learn from her. She raised me as a single mom. So, that her tenacious drive is what has fueled me today. Definitely fueled me today. Yeah.
I get amazed how many of the people I interview turn out to be the product of single moms, fierce single moms.
Yeah.
And so going back over your childhood, what kind of things, what would be like the first thing that sort of suggested you're an entrepreneur, that you did something that wasn't normal, or something that you just started to look at the world differently?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me, like when I had quit my job working at the previous employer that I was speaking of, I went in head first and bought a clothing store. I had no clue what I was doing. I never owned a business. I never owned a brick and mortar store before, but I always wanted to be in the fashion industry, and I wanted to, be in the beauty and fashion and, help women feel beautiful. So I, leaped in head first and opened up a clothing store.
How old were you at this point?
I was about 21, maybe.
21. Okay.
About 21, 22 years old, I would say, about that.
That's a tender age. Like that's a both a moment where you're fearless. Like, I think when you're 20 years old, I think that's your most fearless state of life.
Well, at that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm never going to work for somebody else again. I'm never going to let anybody define what I'm worth. And I'm going to fight for myself and, figure it out.
Yeah.
And, it was really great. I really loved working for myself. I could take my puppy in with me to my clothing store every day. It was really awesome to be able to do that. But, one of the biggest things that changed my life is I actually hired an assistant at my clothing store, and she was a single mom with 5 kids. And, I really just wanted to, like, I'm a giver. I want to help people. I want to elevate them any way that I possibly can. And, I had her work with me. And when I was actually going to court to take my boss that had threatened to fire me because I was sick, actually, I got a settlement. And the problem that I had is a lot of people, they hear certain things and then they act on them. And what had happened was I ended up having her set me up. She set me up, and I had a home invasion, and my car was stolen. I was tied up and raped.
Oh, this was your former boss.
Yeah,
that redefines toxic environment.
Yeah, so like, right when you think that you're going to get ahead in life and you try to make a change for yourself, something comes up and slaps you in the face. And to me, it really defined me in the fact that, first of all, I didn't have anybody here to help me in that situation. I lost my home. I lost my clothing store. I lost my sense of self. I was a victim. I was tied up. Like, there were so many bad things that had happened.
Wow. Okay.
I literally left Vancouver. I gave the keys up to my condo that I owned back to the bank. And I left Vancouver to change my life. And, it was the biggest thing that I had ever done. I had never been to Toronto. I drove across the country by myself with my dog, crying the whole time, bawling my eyes out. I didn't even know what I was doing, where I was going, but it was the hardest decision that I had ever made. I was so caught up in the fact that I owned my own business and owned my own home that I was holding on to something that was slowly killing me inside. It's an ego thing. It totally is. It's an ego thing. It's an entitlement. And, I was fighting the fact that, I was holding on to these material things that really didn't matter. They didn't,
right.
Me owning a condo is not going to get me further ahead in life. Yes, it is. But in the circumstance that I was in as a victim, it just made things so much worse. I had to let things go in order to become the person that I am today.
Two things are happening. One is the universe is sort of saying you're going to change your life seriously. We've had a couple of clients who they had small nudges, and then finally it's like the universe goes, okay, so you need a really big nudge. And so on the one hand, it's like the most devastating thing that anyone can imagine to try and work through. On the flip side, it's you come out of it with this bigger appreciation and bigger opportunity.
Oh yeah. It's very difficult. Like, for 7 years, I didn't even know who I was anymore. Like, I'm such a tenacious person. I have so much drive, and I'm so happy all the time. And, when I went to Toronto, I was in complete depression. And, I'm so grateful for my partner, Neil, because, at the time we were just friends, and I drove all the way across the country to move there with him. And I didn't even know anyone in Toronto.
Right.
And, it was a very scary time. Like, in 3 times in 1 month, I drove from Vancouver to Toronto and back to bring my stuff by myself.
That's unique. Like, that's a great. That's a long drive. What were you thinking about? Like, were you making plans, or is it just like a numb thing? Or
I was numb inside, like, I cried almost the whole time. I was like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how I'm going to survive. I don't know what's going to happen when I get there. Are we going to, am I going to be able to find a job? Am I going to be able to, get through this? Like, when you have somebody take your power away, it's very, very difficult to get it out of your head and get it back. It really is. It's a big defining moment. And, I look back at it now, and I'm actually grateful that it happened, because I never would become the person that I am today. It sounds crazy. Like, nobody wishes anybody to be like tied up and abused and things like that, but it defined who I am today. And now I can share my story and empower other people that whatever they're going through, that they can get through it as well.
Yeah. And that's really what we're about with this is sharing the story, so people can look at it and go, oh, so you did that. I can probably do that too. And I just think stories are a massive somebody's been there before. You get the sense they've been there. She did that. She prospered. She grew. This, whatever I'm going through now, is temporary. I will come out of it, and it will. I have the ability to make it better.
Definitely. And things drastically changed when I went to Toronto. You know, it was an amazing experience. I got to share my story in a book. I'm a best-selling author.
Oh, sweet. What's the name of the book?
The book's called Empowering Women to Succeed.
Right.
And it's on Amazon, so you can find it on Amazon. And, you know, I actually got to work in this amazing company as well. And that's how we actually met when I was in Calgary.
Yeah.
So, you know, we became part of a company, a global network marketing company. I'll keep the names out of it just for, you know, for time's sake, but we became we became leaders in that company actually, and you know, got to speak on stages. I got to be able to speak on stage, which was my biggest fear, was public speaking. The biggest fear that I ever had in the world is spiders and public speaking, and I got one of them handled. Okay, don't let me see a spider. I will
walking up on stage and seeing a spider and going, okay, so here I am.
Yeah, well, the very first time I ever got up on stage, I ran and threw up. But you know, you get over those fears, and you get, you know, once you start speaking your truth, and you know, and speaking from the heart, all of the fears go away, which is great.
It's a passion point, because I recall you're quite a rock star with the way you climbed up in that company. It was really kind of,
you know, we accomplished a lot, and you know, in 5 years we had about 5,000 people on our team and did like around 2.5 million in sales. So it's you know, from going from losing everything within 3 to 5 years, accomplishing all of that. And you know, it's been a blessing, because I learned all my skills that have helped me form this new company that I've created. And it's just, I look back, like I have goosebumps right now, because of the fact that all of those experiences and everything that I had went through made me become this person that I am today. And I'm just like so grateful for the future. I really am. Things are just rocking right now. I'm so blessed.
Now, is there any, I'm a big quote fan. Is there any quotes, that sort of mantras that you?
I can't really pinpoint one particular quote, but there's a video that I watch every single morning on YouTube, and I can post the link in here for you as well. And it's called Never Give Up. And I listen to this every single morning before I get ready for the day. When I'm like feeling down and out, I literally listen to this every single morning, and it's kind of like my thing to get going every day. If I'm feeling bad, or if I'm feeling depressed or anything, like I just put this thing on repeat all day long, and it just literally gets me unstuck. It honestly, like, I've sent it to so many people in the past 2 weeks that have been feeling down or like feeling depressed with all of the new announcement and the pandemic and everything that's been going on. And you know, this is one of the things that I listen to every day. And I highly recommend, if anybody's watching this, and if you're having a bad day, or if you're feeling down and out and you're not really sure what to do, watch this video, which is called Never Give Up. It's amazing.
It will be in the notes, so people will be able to, if you kind of get into it. That's amazing. Now, your mom was integral to, going back to your childhood a bit. How did she shape you? Because you're like, she clearly is a role model for you.
Definitely, she's my biggest role model. You know, and the thing about it is last year, actually, when right before the pandemic had hit, I actually decided to move my mom home to Vancouver with me.
Okay.
And I actually opened up a salon for us. So we had a salon in our house, 2 rooms, and we had about 5 or 6 girls that we were all working with. And, you know, I wanted to do something where, you know, we could work together in a business and, you know, kind of build our retirement together.
Right.
And, you know, it's nice to have her close by, because she's been gone. She's been gone to Alberta. She moved away in 2004. And I was in Toronto for 8 years. So we were always so far apart. I only got to see her maybe once a year or once every 2 years. And, you know, I just got homesick, and I'm like, you know what? I need to bring mom home with me. we need to figure this out together. You know,
Right.
it's always just been me and her. And I think that, you know, having her close by and having her as my biggest supporter has really, really shaped me.
Mhm.
It's really changed because, you know, we feel closer than we ever have before, working together. She's my number one fan when it comes to the beauty squad and everything that I'm creating. And I kind of did this for her, to make sure that I could make sure that, you know, she's set up for her retirement as well.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember that's has been a theme that's been close to your heart as long as I've known you.
Yes.
So with having a parent nearby, and especially a parent that's kind of working with you, how do you separate some of the personal things and the business things? Because there are times in business I have to make hard decisions, and there's opposing thoughts. How do you guys manage that?
I think the biggest thing is, especially with business, my mom, she supports me with any decision that I make. She doesn't really quite grasp what I'm creating yet because she's old school.
Yeah.
But she's there for me. She sees how hard I'm working as well. You know, like she doesn't understand it, but she supports it. And you know, she's been one of my biggest investors in this business as well that we're creating. And you know, it's just been awesome. It's been awesome having her here with me, you know?
I appreciate what you're saying. Jen's dad, my wife's dad, he was born in 1914. He's passed away. He was 92 when he passed away. But he didn't grasp what I did, which is photographing women. And Jack was—
Yeah, and you're an amazing photographer, by the way. I can't wait to come do a photo shoot with you. I just had to say that.
We should plan something on your boat. We'll have to. That would be a riot to do that. So anyways, Jack was a mechanic. And in his world, you pushed a lever, it moved a rod, it up the spring, and it's open. And if it didn't open, you could simply see where the rod is broken because there was like 5 elements for it. So he's looking at this computer and he kind of goes, like, so you do something, what happens? How do you know it did something there? Because something appears here. Well, if it doesn't appear, then how do you know what's wrong? So, well, it's complicated. It's just like freaking magic market. But again, that leap of faith where someone who loves you and they really don't know what you're doing, they have a sense that what you're doing is awesome though. And they're along for the ride. And I always thought that was so forward thinking because so many seniors are like stuck in their old school ways.
Yeah.
And Jack really couldn't. I mean, what we're doing is, and here's a man, and this always impressed me with Jack. Can you imagine being alive to see stables turn into garages? Like that's a massive, that to me, that's like if I'm around and the garages turn into hovercraft places or the garages turn into launch pads for space. Like it's that massive thing. He would ride his horse past the Indian things and the soldiers. And then he was driving his dad's truck. Like just such a leap. So I admire your mom's vision of who you are, because I mean that's the whole course of it, is that she has to have such a deep core belief of your abilities and who you are and your vision that even if she doesn't understand it, that's what a leader is, isn't it? Like a leader sees this huge vision and they can share it to people who don't have the ability to create the same vision, but you create an ability for them to believe in you and that your vision is going to happen.
It's going to happen. I'm going to make sure. I'm so tenacious when it comes to building this thing. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know that I'm definitely not giving up. You know, we've had some hurdles, you know, there's always, with technology, there's always a few issues, but you know, you know, that's the one thing, is having her as support has been the thing that's kept me going as well. Not only that, but she's my reason why. Yeah. You know, if you don't have a reason why that makes you cry, go find a new one. Yeah, that's perfect. So tenacity is one of your closely held skills or viewpoints or talents. What are two more that you sit back and say, I'm successful, I'm who I am because of these two more core elements to your personality? I would definitely say mindset and positivity. Okay. Mindset is a really big one because like everybody has an off day. Right. But, you know, whatever you're going through, if you can break through it and you can keep going, eventually you're going to get there. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. Like I've been building this business for over a year. And you had some website glitches. So I literally stopped it in its tracks. I said, listen, until I can get this going exactly the way I say it is, I'm just going to stop. You guys, everybody can stay a part of the program,
Mhm.
and we can still keep continuing to build the community. But until I'm satisfied and until I can guarantee what I've delivered is what I say I'm going to deliver, I'm just going to stop. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way to make it better. I'm going to find a way to improve it. I'm going to find a way to help everybody make more money. And I'm at that point now where I've done that. Now we're in the building phase again. We're in phase two of getting this thing done. And I'm ready. I'm so ready for this ride.
I've been reading 2 books recently. One's called Who Moved My Cheese by Jensen, but the second one's come out posthumously called Out of the Maze. And so the Who Moved My Cheese is basically what happened with you with your first experience, and suddenly all these resources are gone. And then one guy says, well, I want it to come back, and the other guy says, well, I'm going to find it. And Out of the Maze is like, this maze thing isn't working. We're going to go through this wall, which is cool. I'm going to go back to your boat. I had no idea you had a party boat, so I'm curious how that came about, and how you it just blows my. I'd never thought of a party boat. I guess I'm in landlocked Alberta.
Yeah, there's no party boats over there. You got to come over this way to have some fun. Maybe you can go to like Sylvan Lake or something, but that's
right. There we go. So how'd you get the idea of a party boat?
Well, actually, it's funny because I'm such a big networker at heart. While we were in Toronto, we met a gentleman named Raj.
Okay.
And we actually were going to rent a table at some of his events and talk about our products, our fashion and our healthcare products and things like that. And about 2 years ago, we got invited to a grand opening for a boat here in Vancouver. I had no idea what I was going to. It was in February. It was pissing rain. It was cold. It's Vancouver in the winter. Nothing is bright and sunny over here.
Wet.
And we ended up on this boat. And long story short, it was Raj, the gentleman that we met in Toronto.
Right.
And he has moved to Vancouver and bought this boat. And it's funny because he actually owns 5 big party boats in Toronto. The biggest boat holds 500 people, if you could believe it.
My mind's reeling with this. It's really fascinating.
Yeah. And well, I come from a promoter background. I used to work in nightclubs and different things. I used to run ladies' night. We used to manage male entertainers and have like the champagne and the limos and everything come to the nightclub.
Right.
And he's like, do you know anybody that would want to throw any parties on this boat? Well, I'm back in Vancouver. I know every single person in this city. Let me call every single DJ, every promoter that I know. And here we are. This is our 2nd year operating. With COVID, last summer, we were able to do about 6 parties before we got shut down because of COVID.
Yeah.
And, we started back up again this year. As soon as the announcements came out, we started out with a very small capacity of 50 people. And now we're doing events up to 150 people. And there's like 4 events this long weekend coming up back to back. So it's going to be a pretty interesting time. We do weddings and a bunch of different like music videos and things like that on the boat as well. But it's been a pretty fun ride. I wouldn't, things have changed now with the new rules, but I can still book parties. I just won't be on them. So it's been fun. It's been really fun. And my mom, believe it or not, my mom all last summer was my bartender for the parties. And she's so fun.
Like, ask how roughly, not precise necessarily, but just a vague age.
My mom's 72.
72. I just love that. It's
I can't even keep up with her, to be honest with you. Like, she has more energy than me. She out dances me and all my friends.
I've discovered a whole new client level of clients who are in their 70s.
Yeah.
They're doing nudes, they're doing body painting, and they're up in the mountains hiking. Like this, we did a photograph of her back. We found a piece of land we can go do nudes on, and we got it against this old tree. And she's got this powerful back that just ripples with muscles, and she just turned 70. I think she's 71 now.
That's incredible. Yeah.
That's right. So you got.
I
are you owner of the boat, or is it a partnership thing, or you just sort of handle getting people on the boat?
I'm the sales manager for the company. So. And then I also work with the limo company as well. So I arrange all the limos to the boat,
right?
Well, to and from, so everybody can be there safe and not drink and drive.
Yeah, you really thought things through. And that's one of the things that I admire about you, is that you are sharp business person with a vision, but you've got this massive heart. Like it seems everything I've seen you do has been a venue to elevate people.
Yes.
I was thinking back when your first employee was a single mom with a couple of kids, and the project you're building now is a way for them to grow, like other people who single moms who need extra cash, and it's a tight, adaptable kind of world for it. Where did that come from? Where did you get that from?
It must be my network marketing background. Because the only way to elevate yourself is by lifting other people.
Yep.
And that between that and my mom used to also be a caregiver as well. So she always cared about everybody else before herself. And I think that's where I get it from. I think the only way that you're going to get further in life is by bringing people with you.
Yes.
You can't go at it alone.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm connected to an outfit called BNI, and that's their whole tenet is, and the other one is interesting quote comes from JVology, Jay Facette. And their premise is, everything's done jointly. Like, let's get together and evolve together. But he has a phrase that's kind of cool. And it's like, we should do something together. I'll go first. And that's just a bold thing to do. But that's why I like, one of the things I enjoy so much about you is this heart that, like when you said your two other character things, and I thought, God, heart should be in there first, because that's like one of your drivers.
Yeah, it is true. It is true, but there was too many to think about. So I was like, like, I think the biggest thing is my drive inspires others, like it really does. Like, even when I'm having a bad day or if I'm feeling off, like I always try to like post something positive. And, people always come back and reciprocate that positivity to me as well, especially if I'm having an off day,
Yeah.
We can't always be on. There's always, you have your down times as well. And it's been really difficult. Like, it's been really difficult. I've had so many setbacks with building this big community that, I almost gave up. Honestly, a few times I almost kicked it in, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't be an inspiration for all these people. Like, everybody's like counting on me, and I feel like I'm going to let them down. And, I found this video, Never Give Up. And this week I've been on fire, literally. Like, every morning I listen to it while I'm getting ready for the day. And, it literally just puts me into massive action. And, I was literally, I don't know, like I was, even this past couple of weeks, like I had my fundraiser I was supposed to do on my boat to raise money to finish our project, our Beauty Squad project. And then the new rules came out and I had to cancel it again. It's the second time I've canceled this fundraiser and crowdfunding event to finish this community project. And, I was like, okay, well, do I give up or do I just keep going and figure out another way? So I went into massive action and started building my business plan. I built 3 compensation plans for customers, for businesses, and for customers to support businesses as well. It's just insane. Like, I even did all of my presentations, slideshows and everything, and getting everything ready for investors and, angel investors and different things like that. And either I could have gone and gotten depressed and curled under a little blanket, or just keep going into massive action. And this video's kind of helped me get through it.
Yeah, that's so powerful. It's I've encountered phrases from people, and one person was telling me that, and I actually got this from a couple of folks, but they're saying that obstacles are a way to determine how badly you want this. And so if you let an obstacle stop you, it's like, well, okay, we're testing you, says the universe, and whoever you kind of run with. And if this is really important to you, you'll find a way through this. But it's not easy.
The other thing too that's really helped me get through it is I've taken a couple courses with Landmark Education. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. When I was in Toronto and I was dealing with the major victim mentality, I actually put myself through Landmark twice. I was like, okay, all this garbage and junk is filling up. I'm starting to become a victim again. Let me go back.
Yeah. And
the second time that I had gone back really changed me. Like, it's nice to be able to see what in your head is holding you back and how to get through it as well. I think a lot of the times when we are doing something significant, the fear factor, and your mind sabotages you and puts you right back into the comfortable position.
Yeah.
And unless you realize that and see that, hey, it's all in your head, that your mind is what's holding you back, and you try to push through it and break through it, that's where you truly live in your power. That's where you truly live in your power. When you can say it to the voice in your head, no, I'm not listening to you today. I'm just going to keep going no matter what. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's a personal power stage that you've got to, that people can kind of point the way or support you, but in the end, you've got to dig down deep and believe in yourself.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is you have to believe in yourself first before you can portray that into others. Like, if you don't have the confidence and self-confidence in yourself, and you don't have the correct mindset, how can you support and be there for others? You really can't. No. You got to clean up what's going on in here first.
You do.
For sure.
Yeah, you do. If that's not, and having the vision is also important. That's part of who you are. Like, that's part of getting there, that you feel that you're worthy enough to accomplish this vision. I remember a story where this architect, he did amazing things. He was one of the boldest, one of the craft, and he was dying. And this reporter came in and interviewed him, and he said, "So what's your biggest regret?" "Oh," he says, "my biggest regret was, this is the man who thought bigger than anybody else on the planet at the time." He says, "I just thought so small. I should have thought bigger." And this guy goes, "Oh my God."
Well, it's actually very scary, because like when I closed my salon, we just had like 5 women all working together, and we were referring each other customers. And then now it's turned into a global company. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know that I'm pushing forward every day to make it happen.
Right.
You as long as you take that next step, and that next step, and that next step, and the next step, then you're telling the universe that you are worthy of this.
You are worthy. And that's the thing, like what you just said, the step. A lot of people get halted in their tracks by looking too much at the big picture. And they're trying to.
I've been so scared sometimes. Like, it's freaky. It's scary to know the fact that like one person could create a global company with a vision in their head. And it's like, scares me every day. I need like a whole team of people to help me with this. This is not something that you just build on your own. Like, you need, any successful big network marketing company. This isn't a network marketing company, but it's a very similar model. But anybody, any successful big network marketing company that's gone global had a whole team of advisors. Yeah. And it's just me. I eventually we'll get there where we have, a team of people working with us, but once it's built, they will come. Yeah. You know what I mean? They'll show up.
Most of the things that are like, again, looking back at the BNI thing, that was what one guy's built out of necessity, because he was running out of clients. And so we started this at the time, a small company. People said, "You're nuts because you're empowering." And now they just looked at their numbers. They did like $16 billion. It's just insane. But that's where it starts. Like, you get an idea, a vision, if you will, of what it's going to be. And I believe there's a point that comes where people are waiting for them to help you in a deeper fashion. Like, they help as you can. You draw, I've seen the people that you draw around you. You don't draw flakes by any means. There's, the people who are not afraid to roll up their sleeves and support you. Like, you create an incredible aura of, we can do this.
Yes. Yes. That's the biggest thing is, that's the whole purpose and the reason why I created the Beauty Squad. Do you mind if I touch a little bit about what it is?
No, please do. Please do.
Okay. So the Beauty Squad is the largest online beauty and health directory in the world. And we have a special button just for you to put your photography as well. Of course, I kind of took the idea of Skip the Dishes along with Facebook and made a baby. So it's a beauty and health directory, which is a global company. And you can literally look on your phone, look at people's before and after pictures, and book an appointment. You can put your reviews down, and you can actually refer friends. So I set up a program where customers can actually earn full-time income just by referring their friends and family to get services done. So they don't actually have to own a business. They can be a single mom at home, taking care of their family, but they actually earn anywhere from $5 to $10 every time they send their friend to go get lashes or nails or a massage or acupuncture or fitness training or anything like that. So customers make money by referring their friends and family. Businesses make money by referring customers.
Right.
Businesses make money by referring businesses, and customers make money by getting their favorite salon and spa on board as well.
Right.
So it's a cycle. It's a circle that I've created where everybody has to support everybody. It's the only way.
Yeah.
It's the only way. If you do, you can just be a customer and just book a haircut if you'd like. But there's an equal opportunity. If you're going to talk about your favorite hairdresser, why not refer your friends and actually make a little side income?
So actually the housewives and so on can have a business, a referral business. Like they don't have to deal with the products and all that kind of stuff. Their business is looking for referrals.
Correct. And the best part about it is they don't have to spend it on getting, like, I've set up it's called a beauty bank. So you actually you'll see all your money adding up in the back office there. And we partnered with Visa, so you can actually load it onto your own credit card. You can go and, pay for your kids' school supplies. You can do whatever you want. I don't care what you do with the money. We're thankful for the referral. You can do whatever you'd like. You can go to the bank machine and take it out. You can put gas in your car. You can go get groceries. And the cool part about it, if you want to save it up and take a course, we have 2 schools that are part of the Beauty Squad as well. So you can actually learn how to run your own business from home as well. And we teach you about tax savings. We teach you how to start your own business properly, how to, register your business with the government, how to incorporate your company, whatever it is. It's not just a referral business. This is also support, teaching you how to market your business properly online and social media. It's about education as well. And that's the best thing I love about it. We're not just like referring nails and hair. We're actually teaching women and men how to work from home and create a sustainable income, which is nice because we don't have to rely on the big box stores. We're literally supporting all small businesses in Canada and US. Like, it's going to be global eventually, but right now we're focused on North America.
And that's the lifeblood of a community. The box stores make things kind of cheap, but the community thrives because that's where people get their income with it. So it's kind of like a new business model. Like I've not heard of something put together quite like this.
It's never been done before in the industry. I'm literally changing the game. I love it.
Yes, game changer stuff. That's one thing that's been interesting in this era of human development is the number of things that happen that are emerging. The technology is allowed to have.
Well, think about it. Even like 3 to 5 years ago, nobody even knew what Skip the Dishes or Uber Eats was.
I know. And
in Vancouver, they just got Uber like recently, like it's been a year or 2. So, this is literally gonna be the next biggest company. And that's why right off the gate, I called it the world's largest online beauty directory, because I know with the referral programs, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Everybody wins. And, and that's great. That's the one thing I love about it is even the Surrey Board of Trade, which is the largest board of trade in all of Canada. They have over 3,000 members. She's also supporting us as well. So we can actually, any of the small businesses that sign up, salons and spas, they can also become a member of the Surrey Board of Trade, which is amazing. So we're trying to, elevate all small businesses, even moms that work from home and do lashes part-time, spare time while their kids are napping. We want to support everybody in the community. And that's why I created this project. It's not really about me anymore. It wasn't about me it's never been about me. It's about how can I support everybody else, because I can't even work on clients. We're sitting in my eyebrow studio and I can't even work on clients because of my neck injury. I want to refer everybody else clients. And that's the whole point of it.
But what you've done is, as I listen to you talk, you've taken a problem that you want to solve, which is like working home with your mom, dealing with an injury that limits what you can do. And you've recognized that you're not alone. There's a whole bunch of other people that have the same thing. And you're creating a model for yourself that fits everybody else at the same time.
Exactly.
And so you're kind of replicating both what your need is and how to solve it with a more diverse skill set. I just think it's brilliant. I just love the support nature of it.
When I first moved back here, I had the worst time trying to find a good nail salon. Literally, it took me 5 times before I was able to find a nail salon that could do something nice like this, right?
Wow, those are cool.
So, yeah. So then, we need, this is something that we need in the industry, beauty and health industry. There's nothing like this in the health industry either, where we can look and see ratings for the best acupuncture and literally, or, look at their before and after photos or whatever, and book an appointment like right there on the spot.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that out there.
That is really, that's really, really, I love it. I love it. What would be your best day? You wake up and from start to finish.
Well, the best day would be waking up in no pain. But I think my best day would be, I wake up usually around 7 o'clock in the morning. I listen to my video while I'm getting ready every single day, never give up. And then I just, I go into all out massive action. The night before, I usually write a list of things that I need to accomplish the next day. And then I just start going through the list. I sit, the majority of the time I'm sitting here in front of my desk, in front of my computer, reaching out to people that are a part of the community. I started going through, there's 1,200 members in our group in Facebook currently, and half of them I don't know. So I literally started from the top and just, I'm connecting with each person, asking what they do, sharing about the beauty squad and the vision and the future, and ask how I can support them in their business. And that's my day. Unless I'm downtown and have boat parties, which is mostly on the weekend, which is my last weekend coming up. So my full every sense of my being right now is telling me to focus on the beauty squad. Like every time I do something else other than that, everything brings me back here. The universe keeps telling me, no, this is your baby. This is what you're meant to do. This is why you're on this planet, and stop getting distracted by shiny pennies and just focus. Focus on what's gonna literally set you free, and what's running through your veins, because this is my baby. Nobody can tell me how to run my company. Nobody can tell me that this is not correct. Nobody tells me what I'm worth. Nobody can cut my income off. No, you know what I mean? Like it's a nice sense of freedom to know that I'm creating something that's literally going to change people's lives, and nobody can tell me no. It's the best feeling in the world.
I mean, I'm in the same boat for 41 years, so I really grasp what you're saying. Now, is this type of entrepreneurship, is that something that everybody's capable of doing, or is it a mindset that some people always be an employee and some people can make a leap to self-sufficiency?
I think if you find the right mentor, anything's possible. I think, with the way that the world is going right now, I would not rely on your job, because you don't know if you're going to have it tomorrow. And I always would recommend to start something. You never get ahead unless you start. That's the thing. You can't get ahead unless you actually start. And it's going to be scary. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying find something to do and find something to learn that you can replace your job, replace your income, and make sure you have a bit of a buffer. Always make sure you have like a 6-month buffer. But,
that's where most people fail. Like that's one thing I see in photographers and other businesses, is that they're really not ready for the lull of the changeover as they shift into it.
I've failed multiple times. I've quit multiple businesses. I've even quit on myself. You know what I mean? Like I rather than, taking things head on, it's flight or flee, right? Like that's what you usually do. You usually, instead of dealing with this problem head on, you block it out and run. That's what's in our human nature. It's in your human nature. It's in your DNA to play it safe. It always is. It always has been. And, if you see a cougar, what are you going to do? You're not going to run up to it. You're going to run away. Right. So unless you're going to like run up to it and punch it in the head and take it head on, you always find the safe route. Right. And that's the thing is the biggest thing that would define me is I'm not listening to this head anymore. I'm not listening to that little voice in my head. I'm just literally I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know how this company is going to be built. I don't know where the funding is coming from, but I'm determined to make an impact in this world. This is a legacy that I'm going to leave for my family, the family I don't have yet, but I'm working on that too.
Plan B is get the family so I can this. I love that. That is so.
The company, family will come later.
That's great. This has been, I could just talk to you for hours. This has been an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for your time today.
I really honestly appreciate being here. And I wanted to thank you for reaching out to me. You know, I've really always wanted to work with you, Mark. I think your photography and the body painting and everything that you do is incredible. And I think, you know, I still have some insecurities when it comes to myself as well. It may not show on the outside, but obviously every woman deals with it, especially after everything that I've been through. Mm-hmm. So I would really like to be a part of your vision as well. Like, I really want to get body painted and kind of break through of that feeling that I have that I'm not good enough. You know, like it's not easy. It's not easy. Like, after being through everything that I had been through, you know, you have all these things that come up in your head about yourself. Yeah. So I think being able to, you know, do the body painting experience and kind of just break through that would be final. I think that would be the defining moment for me.
Thank you so much for that. It's one thing that I really want to point out, and that so impresses me with you, is that be involved enough to say that you still got like issues where you think you're not good enough. And you're accomplishing something that most people would go, that's too big of a dream. And so you got this paradigm, because you got this part here that crops up every now and then and says, I'm just not worried, I'm not good enough. This part says, we're going to accomplish this. And I think that's the reason we're doing Fascinating Women, is to showcase to people that, yes, you may have those feelings, they're incorrect, because every woman is worthy, every person is worthy, but you can still have that and still accomplish incredible things.
Well, you know, if I wasn't honest, then I wouldn't be real. And that's the thing, right? Like, everybody has those emotions inside, but, you know, for me to be able to share it and, you know, inspire other people, saying, you know, hey, this is me, take it or leave it, right? Like, everybody's going through things, but it's what you do with those things that define you.
That makes the biggest difference. On that note, we'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining me. Everyone, this has been Callie Jensen of our Beauty Squad, her latest invention, which is really kind of cool. If you'd like to be involved, if you'd like to know more about it, there's going to be notes, links, all sorts of stuff in our little note section down there. It is worth peeking into it. It's really a powerful future, and you could, Sarah, say you're on the ground floor. So thank you so much for joining us. And
thank you so much for having me.